I'm down. Catching a few. Just keep on walking, walk the line. Alright, hold that thing right there, Matt. Oh, nice yellowfin tuna. Climb over. Nice work. Busy day. Got another one going right here. Another one coming up at the bow over there.
Really great trip for the Constitution out of H&M Landing in San Diego. 50-plus yellowfin tuna in this one drift alone. Look for more of this as that warm water from El Niño continues to push into Southern California. Barred perch love cooler water, and we still have cold water here in Southern California, which is rapidly changing because of the El Niño. Nolian Jr. shows that the barred perch bite in Southern California is great on some nice big fat ones. Digging up sand crabs around the Huntington Beach Pier and fishing 6-pound tests. A good window is about 2 hours before the high tide until 2 hours after the high tide. Great fishing, light line, Carolina rig. You should get out and try it soon. Headed south on a 7-day trip for incredible surface iron fishing for big fat yellowtail. Yellows in the 30, 40-pound class. We're biting the surface iron and blowing out on the jigs. Really exciting stuff. Also, the Intrepid pointed out there's a lot of warm water headed this way. They tried the bluefin zone, but it was a little bit down that day. But great yellowtail action for the Intrepid and warm water headed this way. From Friedman Adventures want to get you caught up on the very latest as you're looking at a fish that was caught on the Freedom last night. The Constitution's in a drift on yellowfin tuna. Came out of it with 52 yellowfin tuna this morning. Nulawan is called in with limits of bluefin tuna. Half their fish are 30 to 40 pounders, the other half 80 to 90 pounders. And now you're looking at outcast sport fishing and some great catches they've had on the bluefin tuna. Things are going along really well. The weather's perfect. More yellowfin starting to show up. Hang on for more. Hey, good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to Surfside, California. A gorgeous, beautiful Sunday. My voice is starting to crack already. It's a beautiful Sunday morning here, July the 16th, 2023, and it's so great to be with you. We've got so much to cover with you. We've got that bluefin tuna bite, of course, down there in San Diego, the Coronado Islands, Tanner Bank, Cortez Bank. We're going to talk about the local barracuda bite. Fish are biting up there in the Channel Islands. My goodness, there is so much to cover. Hey, I got to take a moment right now and say hi to Mike. Mike, the gentleman who walked up to me at the Orange County Fair yesterday. I'm bartending in Baja Blues there some days and nights. I'll be there all day today. And Mike comes walking up to me and says, Friedman Adventures. And he was there with his girlfriend or lovely wife. I'm not quite sure which, but they were just so nice. And I wanted to say hi to Mike here to start the morning briefing off. All right, so there is so much going on. So much to talk about. You know what time it is, everybody. It is time for the morning briefing. Good morning to you all. Oh, that hot coffee. Man, does that hit the spot. I really need that right now because I'm working double shifts all day long, bringing you the very, very latest. And, of course, out there at the Orange County Fair where I get to meet so many of you at Baja Blues. It's really great. Hope you come by here before the fair ends. It has been a lot of fun. Hey, we've got a trip on August the 15th out of H&M Landing on board the Horizon. Captain Bill Wilkerson, there's his number for you. You can give Bill a call or send him a text to book on our day and a half August 15th trip on board the Horizon. That's how you can get on that trip for the time being. Hopefully it'll be up on the H&M website here pretty soon. It might be up there. You can check there and then as a fallback, send Bill a text and get on that trip before it's too late. I'll be there shooting video of you and your prize bluefin or maybe even yellowfin catch because this water is going to change. This oceanography is going to change. We have an El Niño headed this way. And for those of you who don't know what that means in practical terms for fishermen, it means warm water and then the species that like that warm water will move in. Yellowfin tuna, dorado, all kinds of other possibilities loom, so it's going to be an exciting time, no question about it. Don't forget, hit that like button, please. Don't forget to share these videos, subscribe to the channel, and of course, we love it if you tick the bell. You're notified when there is new content. And in addition to that, you can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And man, I'll tell you, we can't thank you enough for 3 million views now. Well over 250,000 of hours consumed by you. thank you so very much. I humbly can't express my gratitude enough. All right, let's get into it with you because there's a lot going on. I'll start you out south of the border. Some of those guys on the Pongas down there out of Ensenada are continuing to catch bluefin tuna. There's also some yellowtail locally. There's good calico bass fishing around Punta Banda, and the fallback, as my friends from Blackfin Sportfishing will show you right now, is tons of great eating rockfish. What is wrong with that catch out of Blackfin Sportfishing yesterday? So once again, when you're down there, most of those guys are going to troll for the bluefin tuna. They're trolling Mad Mac lures. Some guys are starting to switch over to the Halcos. The Halco like 120 is a lure that you can troll at a moderate speed. You can drop it back there at 8 knots and get a bite. Whereas with the Mad Macs, you're trolling pretty high speed, like 15 knots in most cases, and those BFT will come up and bite it. There's a wide variety in terms of size down that way. You got everything from 20 to 200 pounds down there. So really nice fishing at times, and then you know how bluefin are. Other times, not so nice, and you got to switch over. Hey, on the lead end, by the way, we saw all kinds of great stuff. Noli Yan catching nice big barred surf perch here in the surf. I'll get into that in just a moment. But once again, we see a wide variety of fish here in SoCal. However, I need to make the point that not everybody got them yesterday. There were some really slow trips. There was some trips that were kind of okay, and there were some really great trips. Same thing with the nighttime bluefin tuna fishing last night out of San Diego. Most of that taking place near San Clemente Island, where some guys got them, some guys didn't get them. For the most part, when you're fishing at night, you want to be fishing heavy. I mean, that's always. At least 100-pound metered line that changes colors every 100 feet is so important to your success. The captain says drop. First of all, you drop immediately, and then you have to get to the depth that he is suggesting to you, because that's where the little fishies are. And if you don't drop to that depth, you might as well be fishing in Lake Irvine. Seriously. So you've got to have that meter line. That makes all the difference in the world to you. 300 grams has been working really, really well. You get a lot of wind and current, then you're going to have to go to a little bit heavier. But as light a jig as is possible to get down to the fish is what you want to use. So 300 and a little bit below that has also been super effective on those nighttime bluefin tuna. Now, daytime fish, there's been some really great scores going on. I mean, really great. For example, Sean on the Pride, Sean Roberts runs the Pride out of 22nd Street Landing in San Pedro. He said he was at Clemente and didn't get the right condition, and you know, he caught a couple of yellows, had really good bonita and bass fishing, but he wanted to go find something else. He wandered off the island a little bit and found a school of eager 20 to 40 pound bluefin tuna biting a fly line bait really, really well. A number 2 circle hook has been working really well. 25, 30, 40 pound fluorocarbon. www.opsonusa.com. We love Opson. Fish the fluoro that you're more confident in, most confident in, I should say. And man, that was just a ripper bite. And we saw a lot of that. And then we saw guys that never found that kind of a school. Let me give you some scores here to give you kind of an example. Polaris Supreme, limits of bluefin tuna. Old Glory, limits of bluefin tuna. Grande on a full day trip, leaves in the morning, comes back in the evening. 5 bluefin, 12 yellowfin tuna. Apollo C4 Sport Fishing, San Diego, a 1 day trip. They had 30 on the yellowfin tuna, a couple of bluefin tuna. The San Diego, again, a boat that leaves in the morning, comes back to Seaforth at night. 50 bluefin tuna, 14 yellowfin tuna. On board the Relentless, they had a great trip. They were limited out on BFT by 10 a.m. What a great bite they had on that one. Marty Cruiskamp was on board the Pride, and he said it was just one of those great trips. And Marty points out that we've got this kind of incredible fishing going on in our very own backyard, and he is so right about that. We like to say long-range fishing in our own backyard, and that's exactly what it's been for several years. When this all goes away, I don't know. Maybe it won't. I'm praying that it won't, but really some fantastic fishing going on. Tribute had limits of bluefin tuna. Over there, I believe on the Pacifica, Curtis Blake was on there, and Curtis shot some video of the guys tossing fish out of the fish holes on a magnificent trip. Curtis said it was the best trip he'd ever been on, so So happy to hear that. So a lot of great stuff going on. Now, you can also take some of those daytime BFTs on small, shiny jig, Colt Sniper, Daiwa, Sakana, 100 to 120 grams. We're good. Don't fish with anything less than 50 pounds. At times, that is a super great way to get the job done. Tanner Bank, Cortez Bank, really good big yellowtail fishing at times out there, fishing a yo-yo, fishing a dropper loop, and fishing surface iron has also been very effective out there. And there's bluefin tuna so all over the place in that neck of the woods. Also, in fact, on the Aloha Spirit, for the past couple of days, they've been metering a ton of bluefin tuna in the Channel Islands. That light switch didn't go on up there quite yet. That water's a little bit cool up there. It's starting to warm, however. We're starting to see much warmer water and better surface fishing. I'll get to that in a moment in the Channel Islands. Really good on the Island Spirit. So give that just a little bit more time. That water warms up, it's going to be game on. And looking at the big picture, as I mentioned, our oceanography is going to go through a dramatic change. We're going to go from cold water to really warm water with the El Nino, and the bluefin will bite better. Their metabolism speeds up with that warmer water, and then you're going to see yellowfin and all kinds of other stuff flood into the area. So Tanner, Cortez, good. San Clemente Island, conditions were off a little bit, just picked at the yellows, but some guys still had good yellow, and as I mentioned, bonita, barracuda, and really good calico bass fishing. Catalina Island, right here. Well, you can't really see it as those pelicans go cruising by because it's a little bit foggy here this morning, but Catalina with a few yellowtail, some calico bass, a few barracuda, you know, some whitefish and rockfish. Doesn't seem to be setting the world on fire right now at Cat, but picking away at the stuff. And private boaters who've been doing pretty well at Cat this year continue to do well with a few halibut, a few white sea bass. It hasn't been bad at all, so that is good news. Channel Island area, up in that neck of the woods, that water's just starting to warm, and it's producing good fishing. Cody Rogers, we were just out with Cody on the Island Spirit. We had an absolutely magnificent time with Cody, and yesterday he had great fishing. He said the water's starting to warm up. We had great surface action all day long. A $1.67 on the barracuda, 63 bonita, 14 calico bass, 3 yellowtail. Can't get much better than that. That's a fun day's fishing. And I'll tell you, the guys on the Island Spirit, as well as everybody at Ventura Sport Fishing, they do such a great job customer service-wise. It's just a pleasure to be out there. Gavin and the galley will create some culinary masterpieces for you. Island Spirit, Ventura Harbor Sport Fishing, 805-676-3474. Of course, the Endeavor is there. The California is there. That's the old Matt Walsh. You'll have a ball. Great fishing out there in that neck of the woods. Starting to warm up. Look for much better surface action up there. And of course, tons of rockfish there out of all the landings in the Channel Islands. Santa Barbara Sea Landing. We can take you up to Morro Bay, where they've been really all over the bottom fish also, with some really fantastic fishing going on. Can't get much better than it is. All right, here in the surf, we continue to see some good fishing on bar perch, as Nola Yan showed us. Big Ross Contreras, and that guy, he'll get out in some nasty stuff. He'll get out there and fish his butt off, coming up with more stripers, as you can see. Really great stuff. Big Ross, you are the man, braving the elements to catch some really nice fish. We love that kind of stuff. So, my friends, don't forget, there's going to be breaking news today. How do I know? Because there's breaking news every day. That's how I know. And once again, we'll continue to watch it for you very closely. Keep you updated with all the very, very latest. Some good bluefin tuna fishing, but there are misses. And our oceanography is slowly but surely starting to turn, starting to change. It's going to go from cold to warm. So we'll keep our eyes on that for you very, very closely, as it promises to be a really exciting finish this summer. And then I think fall is going to be right on, rocking and rolling. Great fishing, probably push us right through January the 1st. It should be exciting. I am not going to skip our local barracuda bite because it's been quite good. Down there in San Diego, we see some good rock fishing, really good calico bass fishing. Helgren's Oceanside area, I think they have a different name now, but out of Oceanside, they're picking away at some bottom fish, catching a few barracuda, bonita. They've got bluefin very close to them. Dana Wharf, some good calico bass fishing, occasional halibut there also. Here, I'm talking about the San Pedro, Long Beach area. Still a lot of barracuda. Our friend Marcus Fain out on the Victory doing a number on the gar. And of course, barracuda love the service iron. Tatty 45, Tatty C single hook is my favorite. I'm not really all that concerned about color. I think if you have a good swimming jig like a Tatty, you're going to get bit. A lot of guys are going with the mint, you know, blue and white, scrambled egg. I think all those will work just fine for you. Just make sure you're paying attention, because that's what's going to get you more bites than the color of the jig. And by that I mean, you see a fish boil, cast to it. You see a bird dip, just dip. Well, something forced a bait up to where that bird could see it, and he dipped on it. You want to toss right there. More times than not, you're going to hook, in this case, a barracuda. Could be a yellowtail, could be a calico bass. Pay attention to what you are seeing on the water. It'll make all the difference in the world. Marcus Fain with a huge day on the Victory. Monte Carlo out of 22nd Street Landing's been on it. Enterprise with more barracuda. There's also some okay sand bass and calico bass fishing going on locally also. All right, my friends, having a wonderful start to my Sunday, and I wish the very same for you. Wish you a really great finish to your weekend and a great week ahead to come. And as always, I hope to see you all really, really soon. Take care, my friends.